All right, all blue uniforms. All right, cool. I'll under the lights. Great. I'll call you back. We'll confirm. Got to film the show. Sorry about that, guys. Producer behind the screen, St. James, we're filming. That had nothing to do with Michigan football, blue uniforms. Don't worry about that. It's my son's soccer game. We're going to talk uniforms, though, but I want to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel. Had the higher-ups at the company say, James, 25 subscribers is mandatory per show, or we might have to go hire Steve Dees and have him host this show. He's got more subs than us. So give us 25 subscribers. If you haven't watched the show, we try to be entertaining, funny, give you inside information on Michigan football, and we've got a video for you within 30 minutes or so after every single game. So it's youtube.com/Michigan TV. We're going to talk uniforms. We're going to talk the defense. We're going to talk a little Washington. Coming up on the show right now. Again, that call at the beginning of the show, nothing to do with Michigan football, but there is a lot of rumors out there. The internet streets are buzzing, Twitter's buzzing, the message board blog boys, they're all kind of putting feelers out there, and it seems like there is a fever pitch of chatter out there that Michigan's going to pull out either all blue uniforms, all maize uniforms, maybe a little bit of inverse, maize jerseys, blue pants. So we'll talk about that coming up in a second. We're going to talk the Washington Huskies. This is supposed to be a top 15 team or so coming into Michigan Stadium to take on the Wolverines, but they lost to Montana. They scored, 7 points doing it, and they looked like absolute crap. So we're going to talk the Huskies. And then Mike McDonald's defense. Have we had a new defense that this program's ever seen? A 2-4-5. We're going to talk a little bit more. Broke down the film, looked at everything that this team has going on with it. But before we do, I want to ask you guys to try again, predict the score. We asked you in yesterday's show to predict the score of the game. We didn't offer the $25, but here's your chance if you watch every time. You have multiple shots at goal to predict the score, I guess. But $25 Venmo to anyone who correctly predicts the score in the comments of this video. I'll pin this comment to the top of the video. First person to do it tells me the winner, and you obviously have to get it in by kickoff, and no editing, right? Had some real shysters last week try to go and edit their score predictor decision. We know, okay, so don't try and do it. If somebody gets it right, because you saw last week's winner was nobody, I will Venmo somebody $25. The second we get a $25 winner, I'm going to up the ante to 50 or 100 per, but someone's got to come through. I'm just not offering the good stuff right off the top. So go down, predict the score, Michigan, Washington, 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC Saturday night under the lights in the Big House. Let's talk uniforms, though. Check out this picture. It's from a recruit over the summer. You've seen the all-blue uniforms. Michigan wore them back in, I think, 2014 against Penn State. They were the ones that were really ugly lettering, but looked cool there. Adidas, these are the Jordan brand ones. Recruits sitting on the brick wall outside the Big House. Those are cool. How about John O'Corn, Wilton Spate, that crew back in 2017? Almost 4 years ago to the day, Michigan took on Florida at Jerry World in Dallas and wore the all-maize uniforms the first time in school history. And then this photo, recruit put it out. I actually think it was Will Johnson, the inverse. You saw a ton of recruits putting these out all summer. The maize jerseys that Michigan wore in 2017 and maize armbands, but then the blue pants, right? Michigan's never really worn blue pants except for to go with that all blue uniform. So those are the potential options. Those are the rumors out there. And I say yes to the alt uniforms. Bring more. A game under the lights where you've got 3 5-stars in the 2022 class visiting on the defense side of the ball. 1, Will Johnson, committed to this program. 2, a lot of Michigan fans thought they had a good chance at Domani Jackson, USC commit, and then Walter Nolan, who lives in the state of Tennessee and has been a Michigan lean, but then left Michigan out of his top 3. They'll be in the house. Make it cool. Make it people ooh and ah. Something different. So I'm going to ask you this question here. Which of these uniform combos do you like the best, or would you have Michigan wear this Saturday if it was up to you? So go down in the comments. We're just going to make it very simple. 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you like the all blues, blue pants, blue jerseys, type 1. If you like the all maize, like they wore in 2017, type 2. If you like the traditional homes, and those are the ones in the thumbnail of this video, if you saw it, the uniforms they wear at home, basically every single game outside of a few here and there where alts, go ahead and type 3. If you like the home opposites, talking a little bit of maize jerseys, blue pants, I'd like to see those. Those are pretty cool. I think that's the least likely of these coming up in this game on Saturday. Go ahead and type 4. I would choose 4 as my preference, but I'm actually going to go 1. I think I've heard enough chatter and enough well-placed folks in and around this program that tell me that one is the most likely out of these, and that's what Michigan's leaning towards. But I don't think a decision's actually been made. I think Jim Harbaugh's got them all there. They're going to make a decision more towards the end of the week. Let's take a look back in time, though. It's been 10 years since Michigan first wore their really first alternate uniform in program history, coincided, like Saturday will, with a night game. Crazy enough, 10 years ago. That's how long ago that was. Seems like yesterday in some regards, seems like a generation ago in other, but it was also the first night game in program history. Michigan came back down, I think, 17 with 7 minutes left, beat Notre Dame on the Jeremy Gallen 60-yard weaving play down to the 10, 12-yard line, and then the jump ball to Roy Roundtree to win the game, beat Notre Dame. And that's a little path down memory lane. Now, a week ago, Michigan was slated to be a 1 point or a half-point favorite in this game. Remember, Washington was a top 20 team, right, heading into their opening game. They lost as 24-point favorites to Montana. They looked terrible. The quarterback, who we'll talk about here in a second, 3 interceptions. And really, they had multiple opportunities. Montana nearly gave it away multiple times the past 5 minutes when you thought the game was over. Michigan, 7-point favorite, so touchdown favorite. This has crept up. It kind of started at 4.5 and 5.5 and 6.5. It's changed 2.5 points over the last couple of days. Over/under is 48.5, which says to me, they think this is going to be around a 28 to 21 game or something like that range. Don't expect Michigan to blow it out if the handicappers know what they're doing, nor do we expect Michigan to put up like 40 points, 47 points like they did last week. Now, if you think you know how to pick college football games or NFL games getting started tomorrow night, get started with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Now, here's the deal with BetUS. They're our preferred sportsbook partner. Go ahead and go over there and bet them. If you follow me on Twitter, you know you'd be making straight cash homie with your boy Yoder. Went 5-2 against the spread in college football last week. I'll keep tweeting out my picks. You can keep winning along with me at BetUS. Chatsports.com/blue. Type that into your browser. You'll drop on the sign-up page at BetUS for our promo code. When you make your first deposit, type in GoBlue as your promo code. You will get 125% deposit bonus. You put in $100, you get an extra $125. You put in $2, an extra $250, and up from there. I think you go up to $500, and you get yourself, what would that be, Jack? $625 in deposit bonus. Good math off the top of our head. BetUS, chatsports.com/GoBlue. Use that promo code GoBlue. Last time these two teams played was a generation ago. The kids who are visiting as recruits right now, they're probably being born about that time. Two top 20 programs, 2002, Michigan-Washington season opening game. Michigan drove down the field. Philip BRABBS, 44-yard field goal. And look, this is how crazy how long ago this was. One, this is before HD TV. Two, there's like no photos that are even like anything smaller than a res. I'd like screen grab this off of a YouTube clip just to remind you guys, take you down a little bit down memory lane. I was at the game. I was in the prestigious Yoder season tickets. Went with a bunch of friends as well over the words, and we just kind of partied our butts off in the parking lot afterwards. It's a noon game. It was like 103 degrees, like September 1st, September 2nd, something like that. Where were you? Where were you watching that game? Who were you watching with? Comment. Let's get a little bit of that reminiscent to, 19 years ago. So I said the recruits were maybe being born. I think the recruits were, there's 2-3 years before they were born. Actually, if you think about it, 19 years ago, the last time these two programs faced off, Philip BRABBS, walk-off 44-yard field goal. Now, what to watch for in this game? My number one thing to watch for is Washington's quarterback, Dylan Morris. He's been in the program for 3 years. Started last year. They played 4 games, Washington did, and he had pedestrian numbers, right? Nothing too great, nothing to brag about. Had, I think, 4 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions in those 4 starts. But he played kind of terrible against Montana the other day, right? 27-46. Had no time to throw, so no shout out to his offensive line. They were bad, and they were missing their top 3 receivers. So he went 27-46, 226 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, including when Washington had a chance. They were inside of the Montana 40, trying to drive down 6 for a game-winning touchdown, and he threw another interception, which was a disastrously bad pass for him to throw. Now, the Washington's receiving core, they've got like 9 receivers in the roster. Only 4 of them, I think, were in uniform, right? They had one guy get hurt early on, another freshman who couldn't dress for some reason. And their top 3 guys, and we're not even counting Giles Jackson, who started for Michigan last year, who was a reserve and didn't really do anything in this game. Top 3 receivers did not play against Montana. And as far as I'm seeing, Washington is very tight-lipped about injury news. Those 3 guys will not play this week as well. We should know more by Friday. Maybe some things will seep out, and we'll start hearing more on this situation. So Giles Jackson, could return to Michigan Stadium on Saturday as Washington's go-to number 1 wide receiver. Let's take a look at his stats the other day. He had two rushes for 19 yards, Giles did. And then what did he have? He was targeted 8 times, 4 catches for 15 yards along with 7. So they're doing a little bunch of bubble screens and such like that. And that's what we had. So keep an eye out for this. If their quarterback is playing bad, if he's making mistakes, if he is completing 55% of his passes, then I think Michigan's in a good spot. If they're not, if he's playing much better than he did the other day, some of these receivers are stepping up, it might be a tighter game than many are expecting. Next up, what I'm watching for is Zach Zinter. Some called him Michigan's best offensive player in fall camp. There was a lot of preseason hype. He actually, you saw the show last week, I said, Zinter's not going to play. Your offensive lineman will look like this going into the game, and this was the starting lineup versus Western Michigan. Ryan Hayes, Trevor Keegan, Andrew Vastardis at center. Chuck Filiaga filled in for Zinter, and then Andrew Stuber, a longtime mainstay of the program, at right tackle. So this is the starters. Now, Zinter got in at the end of the game with a big old cast on his hand. So he broke his hand, as I told you, post-game on Saturday. But at this point, I do expect him to start against Washington. If he doesn't, I think Filiaga played okay. He played pretty good. So I'm not too concerned about the offensive lineman. But obviously, if a guy was playing your best O-lineman, maybe best player in offense, you don't want to risk it and not have him in there. So expect him to start. If he doesn't, he'll be ready to play, and maybe they'll try Filiaga out for a quarter or two. And if things are going well, cool. They keep Zinter on the sideline, save him for more important games down the line if they feel like they've got this one in hand without him. So one more time, I want to ask you guys, subscribe to the channel. 25 subscribers. We're getting 10,000 views, 9,000, 12,000 views per video. So 55% is the people who are not subscribed. So you do some quick math. That's like over 5,000, 6,000 people per video the last couple weeks not subscribed. So it's a very small number. You guys have to hit that sub button for us to hit the goal. Help me out. Please, I'm begging you. If you do it, Michigan wins, guaranteed. Let's go on to number 3. Let's take a look at the wide receivers without Ronnie Bell. All right. Dalen Baldwin caught that touchdown pass from J.J. McCarthy towards the end of the game, but we didn't see much of him prior to that. I think the starting lineup, the guys I'm expecting to be in there for this team at the wide receiver position, certainly Mike Sainristil and certainly Cornelius Johnson. I think Dalen Baldwin has a chance now with Ronnie Bell out to be in the mix there at wide receivers going out and catching routes. But where this team really misses on Bell's injury is his leadership. He's been the heart and soul for this team for multiple years. Leading receiver in 2019, 2020, over Donovan Peoples-Jones, Nico Collins, Tariq Black, guys who were in the NFL. He still was the leading receiver 2 years ago after those guys didn't play last year. DPJ to the NFL, Nico set out, Tariq Black transferred to Texas. He was leading receiver once again last year. His leadership as a captain will be where this team misses him the most. But I do think Michigan has enough weapons and enough guys who are, at least capable, that's not going to greatly impact this offensive philosophy, at least this week against Washington. But the run game is, I think, the biggest plus coming out of Western Michigan. Last year, Josh Gass didn't know what he had with, Zach Charbonnet starting at UCLA. Chris Evans made the roster for the Bengals. Blake Corum, Hassan Haskins. They couldn't figure out who the hell to play, and as such, you had Zach Charbonnet had almost as many yards against LSU on Saturday as he did all year in 6 games last year for Michigan. So that's what I'm looking for, okay? The Michigan running game, going into this game, you have Hassan Haskins as your feature back, as your starter, and then Blake Corum came in and ended up getting more carries, 14 carries, 111 yards. He also had a touchdown receiving, touchdown rushing. Donovan Edwards got a little bit there at the end, and then Hassan Haskins, the starter, 13 carries for 17 yards. What I'm seeing in both the rotation and the way those guys played, being patient, hitting holes, being better blockers, is that Mike Hart's presence is being felt at the running back position big time, right? Jay Harbaugh was not a good running backs coach. I hate to say it. We all know it. Michigan hasn't developed a running back really at all since Jim Harbaugh's been there. Karan Higdon was okay, but nowhere near a star. What I saw of the running backs on Saturday screamed Mike Hart to me. I'm glad he is on this coaching staff and making it happen with this group of running backs. I expect them to be a plus in a kind of a positive, one of the better position groups on the field all throughout this year if things keep rolling the way they do, and I absolutely believe they will. One more time, go down in the comments, give me the score, give me the winner. If you do, Get in before kickoff on this video. Don't tweet it at me. Don't put it on another video. Don't do anything on this video. Put the score. Who's going to win? Do it before kickoff. First one of you guys to do it. We'll check the timestamps. I'm going to ask you for your Venmo. Send you $25. Nobody got it last week, so let's show out a little bit better here, folks. Let's do a little better going into this second game for Michigan. Predict the score down in the comments. All right, number 5, my last topic on the show today is this UFO defense. If you remember the Cleveland Browns from about 20 years ago, he had 6-7 guys the line. You never knew who was rushing the quarterback, who was dropping back, all this different stuff. Michigan's defense is now being categorized as a 2-4-5. 2 down defensive linemen with their hands in the dirt, defensive tackles, interior guys, Mozzie Smith, Chris Hinton. Right, those are your starters. Your defensive ends are now being categorized as linebackers, at least according to Mike McDonald, Aiden Hutchinson, and then David Ojabo. So those are your other linebackers, but they're in this defensive, being other defensive linemen, defensive ends being considered linebackers. And then true linebackers, Josh Ross at middle, and then Nakai Hill-Green at your weak side linebacker. Secondary, R.J. Moten, Brad Hawkins starting safeties, G-Mon Green, and of course Vincent Gray starting his corners, and then they're letting Dax Hill roam around. He made a ton of plays all over the field on Saturday. Expect that. He'll be on sometimes the other team's best receiver. Sometimes he'll be in zone. Whatever it is, they're putting their best 11 guys on the field, a 2-4-5. I'm calling it. If you had anybody else using this nickname throughout the end of the year, make sure they owe me 7 cents every time they use it. I'm marketing and I'm licensing it out. UFO, Michigan's UFO defense. I am coining that term. So those are the things I'm looking for. Kind of quick recap. Washington quarterback position. Zach Zinter, expect him to play, start. Talking about the Michigan wide receivers without Ronnie Bell, the running game, and then this 2-4-5 defense. Make sure you go down, predict the score in the comments, see if you can win 25 bones going into this game. We'll be back with another video Thursday, Friday, and I'll probably put one out Saturday morning before this game. Until then, go blue.